It's been months that I'm telling everybody that this is a crash of all the assets. This is not 2008 by any stretch of imagination, and you need to understand what's going on. So about 7 or 8 days ago, there was a bank in California which it was completely gone, vanished, and that created a lot of chaos. And then right after, I did make a video and I said that this is going to cause a tremendous amount of problems. So here we are a week later, this is what's happening. You see, SVB Bank, Silicon Valley Bank, it just got shut down. It's closed. It went down, completely destroyed. 15 other banks, they're on the verge of a collapse. They're going to close. As a matter of fact, one after another. So Signature Bank of New York got shut down also. So one thing that we have to understand is this. First of all, in a matter of past few days, banking industry, they have lost $200 billion. Not $1 million, $200 billion. The other thing that happened is that when the SVB closed, there were so many concerns about the fact that, what's going to happen with all the money? Well, the Janet Yellen and Fed, they came and they're bailing out. And they're saying, well, this is not going to affect any taxpayer because what's going to happen is we're going to use a special fund to take care of all the uninsured depositors so they can get their money, nothing to worry about. Here's what we need to understand. Look, between all the banks that they're going to shut down one after another, there is almost $1 trillion that Fed and the Treasury, they have to come up with, especially the Fed, to take care of all these problems. Now, what this tells you about the economy. 2020, they tell people, sit home. Nothing to worry about. We're going to give you money. So what happens? The Fed comes, injects trillions of dollars into the economy. When you look at this, you say, okay, so the Fed came, they injected money. What's going to happen? Well, the very first thing is going to happen is inflation. Second thing is going to happen is you're going to create a fake bubble economy. This economy that we're in right now, it's absolutely fake. It's bubbled, and it's going to get even worse. So what happens is that, let's say, for example, a bank, 16 largest bank in the United States just collapsed. Silicon Valley Bank. Silicon Valley Bank, this is what happened to them. So in 2020, their deposits were somewhere about $100 billion. Next thing you know, all these tech companies, everybody else, the money they got from the government, the Fed, and everybody else, cheap money. What happens is they went and bought mortgage-backed securities. Well, those mortgage-backed securities right now, it's worth nothing. They get 1% interest. Interest rate right now is about 6%. So what happens? They lost all the money. They could not come up with funds, and they crushed. So the FDIC comes in, say, you know what? Up to $250,000, whoever has money, we're going to give their money back. But above that, which is uninsured money, what's going to happen to that? What about the companies that they have hundreds of millions of dollars in these banks? They have a payroll account. They have all of that. What happens? Well, the Fed and the Janet Yellen, they announced that they're going to have everybody get their money. It's a bailout. But you have to understand something. Between SVB, Silicon Valley Bank, between Signature Bank, right now there is $270 billion of loss. Again, they're going to pay everybody. But you have to understand something. The government comes, the Fed comes and says, there is nothing to worry about. This is isolated. You don't have to worry about anything. Everything is fine. This is not isolated by any stretch of the imagination. Excuse me. This is a crash of an economy. I said this months ago, and I'm going to continue saying it. This is my opinion. But unfortunately, whatever I say as my opinion, it comes true. So what's going to happen is in the next couple of weeks, you're going to have at least 15 to 20 banks that are going to collapse. And what Fed is going to do is Fed is going to bail them out. Bail who out? People out. The discrepancy, the gap for all these banks that they're going under, it's roughly about $1 trillion. And then what's going to happen? So they bail out all these people, everything is fine and dandy, so we move on, right? No. Because of this situation, most likely the Fed, they are not going to be able to increase the rate. Why? Because as they're doing QT, the economy is crumbling. So what's going to happen is they're going to leave it alone. They may not do anything for a couple of months to see what's going to happen. But here's the problem. Everything about this economy, stock market, real estate, crypto, you name it, all these assets right now are bubbled and fake. None of it is true. The stock market has been crashing since last year. It's going to get worse. Real estate is going to crash over 30%. And with that, crypto is getting destroyed. Crypto right now is a toxic asset. In other words, whomever, any bank that they have dealing with crypto, they got wiped out. Fraud, banks are going down, and the crypto market is getting destroyed. So this is what happened. The Fed injected the money, all this money that came into the economy. Right now, the Fed is taking all the money out through inflation and through all these crashes that is happening with the stock market, crypto, and with the real estate. So, two things that you guys have to understand. Number one, please go and check out my video that I did about Dodd-Frank law and about the banks are going to fail and you should not keep your money in institutions. So now, you see it's already happening. It's already started. It's going to get worse. Next thing you're going to see, all these commercial banks that they're dealing with all these commercial buildings, all these commercial loans, they're going to come due. What's going to happen? How are they going to refi their loans? They can't. So you're going to see, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see massive bankruptcies, massive layoffs. You're going to see massive crash in commercial real estate as far as all these loans that they're not going to be able to refi. By banks being in this position that they're collapsing, all it is, the faith, the trust of people towards the banking, it's going down. The Fed, it's not going to increase the rate. The side effect of that, hyperinflation. So you see, however you look at it, it comes down to one simple point. This is not a crash that anybody was expecting. This is a crash of all the assets. The economy itself, it's not healthy. There are so many cracks from different sides, and the economy is going down, pulling down everybody and everything with it. So, two things for you guys to do. Number one, be careful with your money. Do not keep large amounts of cash in institutions, in banks. My advice, deposit in the credit unions. Better yet, go open a brokerage account. Put your money over there. They're not banks. They have SPIC. It's different than FDIC. Your money is secured. You're going to earn interest. And have some money for 1 month if you can. Cash, put it at home. Keep it at safe. because you don't know what's going to happen with the banking. And right now, whatever I said in the past few months, it's coming one by one. Banks are crashing, real estate is changing, everything is about to change. Obviously, this is going to create tremendous amount of people who are sitting on a sideline, and they're going to gobble up all these deals, pennies to the dollar, which is the fact of the real estate. Again, this is a time for everybody to be creative, to understand what's going on in the market. But what I want you guys to understand is this: be careful with your money in the banks, understand what's going on, go read about it, educate yourself, and this is just the beginning. We are going to have a very, very tough 2023, even all the way to 2024, and maybe sometimes in the third, fourth quarter of 2024, maybe things gonna start changing to the better. But right now, this is just the tip of the iceberg, and you're gonna see so many banks, they're gonna go under. And who benefits that? The larger institution, they're gonna go and buy the small banks if they wanted to buy it. But ultimately, this is what's gonna happen. Be careful with your money. Take it out of the bank. Have cash in your home, because if the banks, they close, you're not gonna have access to the cash. You need money to survive until what's gonna happen. And read about it, educate yourself. It's very important. I hope that this video has some value to you guys. If you like the video, repost, share, whatever you have to do. And as always, good luck.